It all began in 1984 when Russian programmer Alexey Pajitnov, working for the Dorintsin Center of the Soviet Academy of Sciences that was created in Moscow by the Soviet government, invented Tetris, an innovative puzzle game with high addictive potential. Pajitnov was largely inspired by Pentominius, a logic game in which wooden blocks of different shapes must be assembled inside a box, and imagined a similar concept for his video game, with blocks consisting of 4 squares falling from the sky and then being guided by the player. After several months of development, the prototype is finally ready, and the Soviet programmer decides to name it Tetris, combining the words tetra, which recall the number of squares composing the different colored blocks of the game, and tennis, which is then Pajitnov's favorite sport. When he presented his creation to his work colleagues, they were quickly seduced by the addictive concept he proposed, and were quick to make copies of Tetris on floppy disks and share it with others. Within a few weeks, the game was circulating all over Moscow. Technica, or LORG, a new agency created to oversee the distribution of Soviet-made software abroad, allowed Roberstein to exploit the license, and then Tetris officially became the first Soviet software to be sold in North America. However, the popularity of Tetris would soon lead to problems with licensing rights. In 1986, Pajitnov sold the rights to the game to a Soviet company, LORG, which in turn licensed it to several Western companies, including Atari and Microsoft. But these companies soon began selling copies of the game without paying royalties, which triggered a legal battle between the licensees and the counterfeiters lasting several years. It was Nintendo that finally won the war, through Henk Rogers with its Game Boy console released in 1989. Subsequently, Tetris was one of the most popular games on the system, and Nintendo had obtained exclusive rights to market the game on Game Boy. Since then, Tetris has become an icon of video game culture. Gamers around the world have spent hours stacking virtual bricks, while developers have continued to create new versions and adaptations of the game for different platforms. Over the years, it has become a pop culture icon with over 200 million copies sold worldwide. The fascinating story of Tetris has also been adapted into a movie, available on Apple TV+, revealing how its creation almost caused World War III.